Hello, welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley. Hi there. In this class, we will continue, in fact, conclude our series looking at the IELTS speaking test. Today, we will be concentrating on part 3 of the exam. This part of the test, the topic generally follows the topic that is described in part 2 of the test. Somehow part 3 questions will relate to it. The questions are opinion-based in nature. In today's class, I will be asking students in the class to respond to some of the various types of questions that you might actually expect to hear on the exam, and I'll be giving you feedback. So, in any case, let's get started. Let me start out by welcoming students to the class, and then we'll start some practice. Hello, Matthew. How are you?
Hey, Oakley.
Hey.
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. Welcome
Okay.
to the class.
Thanks.
Let me also welcome Carolina.
Hello,
Hi, Carolina.
teacher.
How are you today?
Hi, teacher. I am doing well, and you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. And also Rebecca's with us. Hi, Rebecca. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing okay, thanks.
Nice. Good.
Okay, well, let's get started with the practice. Okay, now normally, all right, maybe your part 2 question is about a place that you have visited that you really enjoyed or something like that. And then part 3 questions would center around, for example, tourism, opinions about tourism, opinions about benefits and advantages and disadvantages and comparisons and the like. So kind of revolving around the same topic. I have to tell you, I've heard 1 or 2 reports from my students that the part 3 questions did not follow the part 2 topic. So, and then again, I hear that they do. So I'm a little confused on that myself, conflicting reports. But in any case, basically their opinion. So you want to start with a nice introductory sentence, give at least 2 reasons to support your opinion with accompanying detail and examples, and it would be nice if you could give a little conclusion. Now, because it's kind of opinion-based, your answer will tend to be a longer response than in part 1, the kind of discussion conversation section of the test. Most likely the interviewer will give you more time to speak without interrupting you, likely. Okay, we'll get started. Let me quickly welcome a few other students who have showed up. Hello, Natasha. How are you?
Hello, Ugly. Hello, guys. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay, welcome to the class. Hi, Mustafa.
Hello, good morning. I don't know. Good afternoon for you, I guess.
Yeah, afternoon.
Yeah, and good morning for the guys who is in the morning. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to some, good afternoon for others, good evening if that's applicable. How about that? And hello, Vera.
Hello, hello. Glad to
Hello.
be here again.
Glad to have you here. Okay. As we go along, I'll be kind of trying to demonstrate some types of questions which are typical and talk about what they're looking for. So, Matthew, I'm going to start with you. Okay, the first type of question they might be asking, they frequently ask, is some kind of a comparison type question where they want you to compare maybe now and 30 years ago, maybe social groups, men and women, old and young people, something like that. So Matthew, I'm going to talk to you about old and young people. Do old and young people enjoy the same holidays? Uh,
I wish I knew.
okay. Uh,
How much time should I speak?
okay, the IELTS Part 3 questions are not timed. There's no time specifically. I would go for a little bit longer answer than Part 1. I don't know, maybe 6, 8, 10 sentences like that. Something like that. You're probably going to speak for about a minute,
Okay. I thought
roughly.
for 20 minutes, like I should speak about.
No,
No.
no way.
Okay.
No, the whole Part 3 section of the test is 5 to 6 minutes. So they'll likely ask you in that time maybe 4 questions, 3, 4, 5 questions like that, somewhere in there.
Okay. Could you repeat your question again, and I will answer. So.
Sure. Do old and young people like the same holidays?
I think that old and young people like the same holidays, and they celebrate them. And they celebrate them in the same way. But of course, there is a difference that maybe young people, they put more accent on celebrating the holiday with their friends, holidays with friends, but older people, they tend to celebrate with their families. Also, for instance, if we take as an example the New Year, like New Year, New Year. New Year holiday? No.
Yeah.
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 New Year holiday. Older people, they would celebrate that in family. Most of the older people, they will celebrate that as a family reunion. But younger people, I think they would go somewhere to hang out with their friends.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. Actually, that was except for the hang up on New Year's Day, and then you just got to plow forward. Just pick a word, any word, even if it's completely wrong, and go forward. Better to say, like New Year's barbecue and keep going rather than to have a long pause and self-correction and all that. Even if it's nonsense, okay, one wrong vocabulary word. That's a lot better than messing up your whole timing and delivery and everything. Just
New Year barbecue, yeah.
Whatever, whatever. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you started out paraphrasing the question. Very good. Part 3 questions, generally speaking, lend themselves to paraphrasing or rephrasing the question. A necessary ingredient in your IELTS test, so you might as well do it because the opportunity is going to be there. Good job, by the way. Okay, what they're looking for when they ask comparison questions is words structures that you use, signal phrases, transitionals, and connectives that you use to make comparisons. Things like, but of course, there is a difference, blah, 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 tend to, young people tend to. Also, additionally, for instance, all these phrases that Matthew used, that's what they're looking for, bay. So, really, that was really, other than the New Year's kind of stumble there, that was actually very good. It is really more about the construction of what you say than what you say. Again, your opinion doesn't really matter. I mean, whether you agree with the statement, disagree, whatever tack you take is irrelevant. The way you structured it was quite good, using, like I said, all of these kind of connective words and phrases was what they're looking for. Things like, on the other hand, conversely, another difference might be things like that. That's what they're looking for. So you use some of those. So that was good, actually, quite good. Okay, before we move on, let me quickly welcome Salwa. Hello, Salwa. How are you?
Hello, Glenn. Fine. And you?
I'm doing okay, thanks. Okay, we're gonna move on. Carolina, another type of question which you are very likely to hear. Definitely, you might get one of these in part one. If you don't, or if you kind of mess it up in part one, you'll get one in part three, and that is basically a predicting question, a question with will or would, or maybe the phrase even in the future. Quite obviously, they're looking for you to use future tenses, modals like might and may and could, and also adverbs like probably, possibly, things like that. Okay, so Carolina, let's try one out.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Carolina, what do you think houses will be like in the future?
I would like to think about the houses. It will be more comfortable and also a little bit small than we have now. Because I think that people around the world is going to be grown or rise. I don't know which verb is suitable. So, however, I think that in another places, uh, houses it will be like condominiums, because I know that people who has enough money, they would like to buy a, a luxury houses. So it depends of your quality of life. I don't know, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Okay, hang on. All right. Hang on. First of all, first big problem, Carolina, you have to be careful about your subject-verb agreement. You're conjugating your verbs there. I heard people is, no, people are. Houses is, no, houses are. People who has, no, people who have. Okay? You have to be careful of that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, the way you started, let's talk about paraphrasing as well. What will houses be like in the future? You started like, I would like to think about, I would like to think about how houses are. It was a little off, your sentence. A neat, easy trick, not really a trick, but an easy way to paraphrase is to use the number thing. Use the strategy of saying a number. Okay, for example, I think there will be quite a few differences in houses in the future. I think there will be a number of changes to construction in the future. I think there will be a few changes to the general design of housing in the future. Something like that. So I'm using number, a few, a lot, many. I can think of 3 specific changes, whatever. I'm using the number card to help me give an easy paraphrase. Also notice that I tried to change, I said construction, housing, whatever else I said, I don't even remember, but I'm trying to change, think of synonyms for the keywords in the question when I give my paraphrase. That's a strategy you might consider. Also, future questions, if you're brainstorming,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that's going to change, of course, and if you have problems brainstorming, of course you can say anything at all and pretty much get away with it. But if you're brainstorming, think about money.
Mm-hmm.
Things always get more expensive. Money matters, change. Also think about technology. Technology changes.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly environment, but money, and actually a couple things to brainstorm that works for a lot of things are money and technology, because those things change. So they're always something that you can kind of, brainstorm to talk about quite often. Okay. Okay, you're talking about population will, well, you didn't really say the word population. You said people will be grown or people will rise. Population.
Yeah. Population.
Right. Okay.
And the correct verb is
Again, sorry.
which is the correct verb? Ground or rise?
Oh, the population will rise.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Okay. I did hear a would in there.
At the
Okay.
beginning, I tried to say I would like.
I didn't hear a whole lot of different future structures.
Okay.
Here's where you hear this future question. You might consider doing something like naming a date in the future, which will force you to make a future perfect. Oh, I think by the year 2050, people will have houses built houses under the ocean.
Okay.
Something like that. Just by remembering, oh, I have a future question, I'll mention a future date. You're forcing yourself to make future perfect and a complex sentence at the same time. It's not about remembering, oh, I need to make a future perfect tense. It's about trying to remember, oh, future question, I'll mention a future date, and you'll do it naturally, or hopefully anyway, something like that. Okay. Thanks, Carolina.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to another possible type of question. Okay. The next kind of question I want to kind of throw at you, actually, Rebecca, I'm going to be throwing it right at you, is the why question. Now, I'm gonna try to help you out a little bit before I give you the question, because it's basically a trick question. I call it the stupid question. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Good.
No, you won't thank me. The stupid question the stupid question in IELTS is when they ask you something stupid. Is it important to eat healthy food? No. Of course it is. When they ask you something very, very obvious. Is it good to have a lot of money? I don't know. I mean, come on. Is it important to take vacations? Okay. Obvious, very general questions. Don't, you need to not answer them generally. You need to actually make specific examples and take them seriously, but actually be very specific. And people get shocked because they're like, well, that's a stupid question. They don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Just beware that this definitely might happen to you in the exam, and you've got to just don't break out laughing. But
yeah, you know what? That is one of the problems sometimes when the question is, wow, what kind of question is this? Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in my own language, I don't know what I could answer,
Right. Yes, exactly. It's meant to make you go,
Yeah.
All right. But the best thing you can do is actually take it serious, but try to come up with some examples if you can. Okay, let's try it. Okay, Rebecca, why do so many people want to be famous?
Well, I think it's a question of character, Some people love to be in the society, you know, being watched, being adored, you know, and I think it's a question of well, it's a I don't know the word. Yeah, yes, but I think they want to be famous because it's the thing that involves to be famous, you know. Good houses, good clothes, that kind of stuff, you know, is always together with famous people. I mean, money. So if you are famous, it's because you have money or you have a position in society, and that means, of course, always you have money. So I think it's a question of position in the society and money.
Okay. All right. Still difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, no, because I was looking for a word and I don't know that word, so it was a
Yeah.
moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you do, don't do that for everybody out there. Don't do that on the exam. Don't say, "Oh, what is that word? Oh, I don't know the
No,
word."
no, I know. I knew it in that moment. Yes, I know.
Right. Yeah. A few too many you knows. Saying you know is not bad, but doing it 6 times in one question
Yes, too
is
much.
not
Yeah,
too
too
much.
much. Yeah.
Okay. I did like I think it's a question of character. All right. Now, you didn't paraphrase the question. You don't have to paraphrase every question. If you start your answer in such a way, I think it's a matter. I think it's a question of character. You know, actually, that's a very good start. So, it is not necessary to paraphrase every single question. Actually, in the scoring rubric, the official IELTS scoring rubric, what it says is for the highest score in paraphrasing, if I can remember, I believe it says knows when to paraphrase and when not to, and does it correctly is the highest score. So it is not necessary to paraphrase every question. Just show that you know how to do it a few times. So that was a good start, actually. I like that. Little pronunciation errors there. They like being watched, the T sound,
Yeah,
watched, and adored. Okay.
I do. Yeah, yeah. The past. Yeah, I have some problems sometimes. Yeah.
Here's an interesting phrase that you could have used. It's very common. Just so we can learn a little English phrasing. It goes with the territory. Kind of what you were saying near the end there. Oh, you know, like good houses and nice cars and all those things that go along with being rich. You know, it goes with the territory. Something like that.
Ah, it's an expression. It goes with the territory.
Right.
Okay.
Meaning,
Thank you.
okay, wealth and all those glamorous clothes and all that goes with the territory. Yeah, it's an expression.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Okay, well, thank you very much. Let me quickly welcome Roberto to the class. Hi, Roberto. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. Hi, teacher.
Hey, how's it going? Okay. Okie doke. Let's move along. That's a tough one, that very simple question. Maybe we'll try another one a little later, but I want to look at another type of question. Okay, Natasha, I'm going to ask you about advantages. I'm going to give you an advantages question.
Okay.
Now, okay, keep in mind, if they ask you what are the advantages of something, they may ask you right behind that, they may follow up with what are the disadvantages. They may not. They may ask you what are the advantages and disadvantages of something in one question, sort of a comparison type question. They could say advantages, disadvantages. They could say pros and cons, as Mustafa has noted. Okay, I'm going to go straight forward, just advantages. Natasha, what are the advantages of traveling by train?
Okay. Well, I really think that traveling on this kind of transport it's really nice because there are some pros. Like in this case, people have a lot of free time and they have the possibility looking around them and have a lot of pleasure. Landscape, for example, which they can see, and always the same at the same time they have they might have a good friends with whom they traveled at this time in this train, for example. So they can they can have a pleasure speed and. Even they might have the possibility to planning their future maybe working together. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Just not that it's particularly terribly wrong, but it's really not going to get you any traction either. Your first sentence should be a kind of a separate entity. You know, your introductory sentence. Try not to say in your first sentence because. So you started with I think people really enjoy traveling on a train. Can be quite enjoyable. I can't remember exactly what you said because, and then you started your first reason. Try to keep it a separate sentence instead of linking it with because. Okay. They're looking for the classic academic organization, which you should also use, by the way, in your writing for IELTS. That is to say, the introduction as a separate entity in writing, that would be a separate paragraph. Then reason one, clearly defined as one unit, and reason two defined as one unit, and a conclusion. Reason three, if you have one or not, whatever. At least a couple reasons, and a clear conclusion. The conclusion can be very brief. I don't know if anybody's given me a conclusion yet, but instead of whatever or I don't know, be better to say. So I think most people enjoy traveling by train. Just that's enough of a conclusion. Okay, there was some nice connectives. You guys are really doing a pretty good job with the connectives in this case. At the same time, to add another related but slightly different point, that's very good. For example, all right, good job using the connectives, and very, very much the use of these connectives forced you to make more complex sentences. It was quite noticeable. And that's a good thing. A little discontinuity. They have a lot of pleasure. You talked about people can enjoy the view. They have a lot of pleasure. Landscape, for example, like you stuck a phrase from outer space into the middle of your another sentence. A little discontinuity there.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing I did like, which you did, which no one else is really doing, don't be shy to use modals when you're giving an opinion, especially. You said they might have good friends. You used might or may another time. I don't remember exactly. That's great. Good. Native speakers use a lot of modals when we're giving our opinions, so we don't sound like egotistical maniacs. We like to soften our opinion a little bit by using, well, maybe blah, 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 blah. This might mean that blah, blah, blah. Perhaps blah, 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 blah. We do that. So that's good to do that in part 3 of the test. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Natasha, sorry, Natasha. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Teacher, just sorry, just I have a past comment from a poor person from me about her.
Say again?
Okay, I have a short comment about her, about Natasha, from me, a poor person. Okay, I think she's talking too much. That makes the understanding is a little bit hard for me. She's talking too much, too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. You do sound. I kind of agree with Mustafa. Actually, Natasha, you sound your delivery. You sound a little bit breathless, like someone's coming after, holding a gun to the back of your head, and you've got to get out your information.
Sorry, I am nervous a little bit, and I'm always afraid that if I stopped, I couldn't say again. Yes, I'm afraid to lose my brain, my thing. It's I speak and speak and speak.
Right. Keep it flowing. Don't
Yeah.
shut off. Don't shut off the tap. It's coming out. Don't close the tap now. Okay. Right. Well, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. So that is I think that is a valid point. You might try to slow it down. And the fact is, not just IELTS test, but giving a speech, a job interview, a presentation, and places where we have to speak and it makes us nervous. A tip for that is consciously try to slow down a little bit. The fact is you're going to be bursting with adrenaline anyway, so you're probably going to be speaking faster than you realize. So if you're consciously making an effort to speak slower, you're probably going to kind of meet somewhere in the middle and speak at your normal rate of speech anyway in the long run. It's another tip maybe that maybe could help you out. Okay. Mustafa, anyway, you're next. So, okay, the next type of question that is frequently coming up in, I should say that frequently comes up, sorry, that bad verb tense, in part 3 is the problems. Sometimes, again, like advantage and disadvantage, sometimes it's problem and solution. More often than not, they're one at a time, problem and then solution. Okay, Mustafa, I'll give you a fairly easy one. What problems are caused by the increase in use of private motor vehicles?
What the problems? Sorry, your question. What the problems are
caused by the increase in cars?
Increase of using cars. Okay. There are I think there are some problems caused by increasing of using cars instead of other vehicle. For example, like maybe cars cause pollution to the air, and a lot of people, I think they are using I think they are increasing of using cars nowadays, and this is like cause a problem to our environment, and I think we have to some companies start to construct or create or make a new version of car, if I can say, like the car who's don't cause pollution to the air, and this kind of cars maybe has advantage for us and to become so the weather become clean or something like this. I think instead of car, like on the other hand, like we can use like another kind of vehicle or transportation, like for example train or we can use maybe if we want to practice some sports, like practice sports. At the same time, we can use bicycle. So this is maybe a good kind of transportation and don't cause any pollution, and it's a good way to reach your destination always. So yes, why is why you keep
So,
up coming? Stop
yes.
me.
So yes. Okay, you bring it to. I was waiting for you to bring it to a natural and obvious conclusion. That's what I was waiting for. I wasn't trying to torture you. So, something simple. So I think there are definitely some problems inherent in the increase of private vehicles. Something like that,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
okay. One thing that's may come up in the test in many forms or in any spot in the test, part 1, 2, or 3. Problems. Mustafa, what are some synonyms or synonym phrases that we can use for problems? Can you think of any?
Issues. Issue.
Issues. Nice. Issues. Maybe challenges, difficulties. Okay.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
right. If it comes up, you want to say, you want to maybe have that at your disposal, that you can use some of these different words to discuss them, instead of using problem over and over. Few too many likes there, Mustafa. You kind of use like as a filler. Sounds very California, by the way. Mustafa, you should move to California. You'd fit right in. Yeah. Like, wow, man, the surf is up today. Like, fantastic. You speak like you're from California. If you have an
I
interviewer from
told you.
California, you're all set.
I told you. I told you. I didn't know. I used it too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Even
You
though,
try.
you know, teacher, just 1 second. Sorry, teacher. Sorry for interruption. Like, you
No
know,
problem.
to be honest with you, the question was kind of strange for me because private vehicle, something like this. So I
Mhm.
tried to brainstorm my mind at the same time. So I have to use like this is mandatory.
Okay. I said it to you a couple different ways because I also, another factor is, okay, problem is a keyword in the question. You need different words for it. Cars is another keyword. That's why I gave you vehicles, cars, automobiles. Okay, even different phrases. Private cars, personal car, whatever. I was trying to kind of hint to you. Hint.
Okay.
It's a keyword, so here's a couple of synonyms that you might use. And here, they're looking for problems, and they're looking for topic-related vocabulary like exhaust and emissions, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, things that are associated with cars and problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Traffic accidents, traffic problems, related stuff like that.
Yeah, I just brought pollution up. Just this, like, just what this phrase or this vocabulary. Sorry.
Right. You did bring up pollution, but that was your opportunity to use some related vocabulary, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind
I
of went.
can.
See, IELTS is all about missed opportunities. They try to give you the chance to do some things, and you've got to grab those chances when you have them. You get a future question. That's your chance to use modals in a future tense, maybe even a future perfect, which is fantastic. You got to grab your chances. They ask you a would question. Would you like to live by the ocean? Well, that's your perfect chance to say, if I had the chance, I would love to live by the seaside. Okay, a conditional sentence, terrific. You grab those opportunities is really the secret to success. Okay, a little awkward on the first sentence. I can't remember exactly what you said, but a couple times during your discourse, your speaking, you used a gerund. when you didn't need a gerund. You said that something like there are problems with increasing cars or something like that. It should have been the increase of cars. There's a problem with the increase of cars, not increasing cars.
Yeah, right. I noticed that, but I cannot come back to that to correct it.
Yeah. Well, then that is correct. All right. You notice you make a mistake. Don't panic and stop and try to redo it. You're absolutely correct. Just plow forward. So yeah, that was the right thing to do. I got a little lost with the practice sports. So ride a bicycle. I didn't get that either. Didn't follow your idea or anyway.
You have to follow my English, not my idea. I might lie. I might do anything.
Yeah, but right. That's what I was trying to do. I'm concentrating on following the sentence structure, and it lost me. Another important thing that you might do to practice your sports. What? I got lost there, but okay. Let's try a solution question. Vera, I'm going to take it over to you. Okay, we kind of talked about pollution a little bit. Okay, so what are some possible solutions to cleaning up pollution in your city or country or area?
Okay. Can you rephrase your question, please?
Yes, I can, and I might add that it is always okay to ask the interviewer to rephrase the question. Perfectly acceptable. You do not lose points. If anything, the fact that you know how to ask a question in English can only help you. So, yes, I can. And thank you for asking, actually. Yes. Okay. What are some possible solutions to fixing pollution problems in your country?
All right. What are some possible solutions to fix this problem? It's kind of it's very difficult question, very challenging for me. So can you give me a moment just to think about it?
I can, but the interviewer can't. The interviewer, if you said that, the interviewer on an IELTS test would probably say, "Okay, let's just move on."
No. I've already passed the IELTS exam, so it was appropriate, and the interview told me, okay, just take your time. So it's okay to have a moment, not a minute, but just some seconds just to think about it and to construct the answer in your head. So it's okay.
Okay. It's okay, but I'm telling you that let me just say that the interviewers are individuals, and the way they approach giving the test can be quite different. So that was your experience. I have also, my students have told me what I just said. That when they said, "Can I just have a minute to think?" the interviewer said, "Oh, that's okay. Let's just go on to the next question."
Not a minute, a moment, just a moment, just to.
Right.
Okay, I get the idea. Okay.
I'm just saying the interviewers. One may say, "Okay, take a moment," and another one say, "Oh, no problem. We'll just go to the next question," and then they'll kind of mark.
Well, if all of the participants here just watch the samples of videos of the third part of IELTS, so I hope that they notice that sometimes people ask for a moment just to think what's going on here. So it's okay, really. Okay. Okay. So there are different ways to resolve this problem, and first of all, the plants should be okay. First of all, of course, we should know what caused the problem of pollution. Is it traffic jams or I'm sorry, I lost the point.
Okay, you want to back up and start over?
No, it's okay. So it's really hard to answer this question. Actually, I even don't have any ideas in my native language how to resolve this problem.
Well, realistically, they're probably it's gonna be a little easier on the exam than I made it for you, because realistically, they're probably gonna say what are some problems related to pollution in your city. So you will have made some points, and then you can use those points to brainstorm your solution. So in reality, probably be a little bit easier on the actual exam. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. We can move on.
Okay, this problem can be actually it can be resolved. So it's hard to say how to improve the whole situation with pollution, how to resolve this problem, and it can't be resolved. So just so it's really hard to answer this question.
Well, here's another case where maybe my suggestion earlier might be of use. Brainstorming money and technology, sometimes that can help you have an answer. Okay, the government needs to use more money, allocate more budget to fighting pollution, just basically cleaning up rivers and streets and the countryside. Hire people to do it. Money.
Or, for example, volunteer communities should be created just to clean the territory, to plant new trees and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Money helps you think of volunteers, or money or no money, right? So it's a good brainstorming kickoff point. Also, technology, maybe you can think of, new technologies are being developed all the time to filter out harmful pollutants in the atmosphere. It's often useful to think money and technology, because these are
also we can say that yes, it's a widespread problem. It's a widespread issue. So all the people all over the world, they are struggling with this problem, the problem of pollution. So it's really hard to resolve this problem. I believe that government should create volunteer communities to overcome this difficulty with pollution, or maybe to actually literally to give different responsibilities to the community leaders.
Okay, well, that was better. Well, there you go. Okay. Good job. I wasn't really ready for that. We were brainstorming, and my brain was brainstorming. My brain wasn't scoring you. Sorry. You took me by surprise. You ambushed me there with a good answer. Good job, though. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyway, I need to. Time's a wasting. I need to give some others a chance. Here's Salwa. Let me ask you. Let me go back to kind of another comparison question. Salwa, nice new picture, by the way. Hi. Which are more important to you, your family or your friends?
Okay. About my family and friends, each one of them has his part in my life. I can't live without my family and without my friends, but if I will compare, I will choose my family. Because they suffer a lot to bring me up and always support me in many situations in my life. For example, when I get sick, my mother and my father take care of me until I recover. If I have a trouble, my sister also more than my friends. My friends, she always support me and try to give me advices all the time to overcome my trouble. My friends, I can't also live without them, but my family is the most important.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, first and foremost, so your delivery, wow, it was so fast. By the time I wrote one note, you had spoken like 3 sentences. I couldn't actually keep up with you. It was fast. And you could use a little bit more intonation in your speaking, a little bit of high and low pitch. You're not giving me a whole lot of pitch change, so it's kind of, and it's fast, so it's very hard to keep up with you.
Okay.
And it's a little bit on the robotics, monotone kind of thing. So fake being enthusiastic. Okay. Okay, well, you know, I really love my friends and family, and they're really important to me. Both of them are very important to me. Pretend you're excited about the question if you're not. Okay?
Okay.
Fake it. Fake it till you make it. So, okay. Some specific points. Sawa, please be careful of the voiced TH sound. Mother, father. Stick your tongue out. Don't be shy. Sounding like a Z. I can tell your tongue is not coming out of your mouth because it sounds like muzzer and fazzer. Stick your tongue out. Don't be shy. Couple of uncountable nouns. You said have. When I have a trouble. No, you can have a problem, but you can't have a trouble. Trouble's uncountable. Also, advices. No such word in English. Advice is uncountable. You can get a piece of advice, okay, but not advices. And one last thing. I can't also live without my friends. Also, I can't live without my friends.
Okay.
I can't live without my friends also. It's just strange placement of also in that sentence. But that's it. Okay, those are relatively minor parts, and your speech was organized, but really fast. One idea, one concept in IELTS is and it's actually part of the scoring, whether IELTS admits it or not, is they're actually scoring you on how much effort the scorer has to put into listening to you. Do they have to really concentrate on focus in order to understand you, or is it just easy, natural, they don't have to work too hard to understand everything you're saying? It actually is part of the scoring. So make it easy for the listener. Don't make it if you're speaking really fast and you're talking like this, it's going to be really hard for the listener to actually keep up with you and just figure out your approach and your line of thinking, because they can't possibly keep up with speaking that fast. Okay? Make it easy for them. Actually, that point is in the scoring rubric that they publish to the public. It actually talks about how much effort it takes the listener to follow you. Okay, thank you. So, thank you, and best of luck. Is it Friday? Or next week? Next week.
At 12.
12th of September. Okay.
Natasha is tomorrow, I think.
Natasha, is it you that's going tomorrow?
Natasha will.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, before I forget, break a leg, Natasha. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Fingers crossed for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Before I forget, okay. You can tell us how you did, how successful you are. Grand slam, home run. Okay, Roberto. All right, looks like today I'm going to be able to have time to let everybody have a chance. So, Roberto, let's do this. Here's an interesting question. Now, I gave you some question types that they are frequently asked, but the truth is, in part 3, the interestingly, part 1 questions are made by the IELTS elves in the North Pole or whatever. I don't know who comes up with them, but these these questions are all written down and standardized. Part 1 and part 2 questions are all pre-made and pre-packaged for the interviewer. Part 3 questions are not. So the interviewer can ask any darn question he wants to, in reality. He has that freedom. So I tried to give you a sense of some of the types of questions that are frequently asked, but again, the interviewers are human, which is the point I was trying to make before with Vera. They're human and thus unpredictable, so you don't know exactly what they're going to do. You don't. One may be doing this, all right? He may be helping you out. One may be just staring at you. One may stop you after 2 sentences every single question. One may let you ramble on for 14 sentences. Really, they are individuals. So, in any case, be prepared for that they can say anything, is all I'm trying to say. Roberto,
yes.
Here's your question. At what age do you think children should be taught to cook?
Okay, okay, it's a good question.
Thanks.
I think children should learn to cook because when they grow up, they are going they aren't going to know how to fry an egg, and maybe it could be a problem with the relationships. On the other hand, I think it's important to help when they are when they are also it's important to help their mother to know these things.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what else.
Yeah. Okay. Be aware, again, the question was, at what age do you think children should be taught to cook? Not, should children be taught to cook? Okay? So you're slightly off topic. Okay, so try to be careful of that. And again, listen very, very carefully. You really got to focus and listen very carefully to the questions to make sure that you're answering the question they ask. That will cost you on the test. Okay. All right. You said maybe it could be a problem with relationships. I liked maybe, could be, using modals and adverbs, and that's great. But then give me some detail. And you know what? Give examples based on your experience, or make up things. I could say, for example, maybe it could be a problem with relationships in the future. For example, when I married my wife, she couldn't even cook a hot dog. And we basically had to eat at McDonald's for the first 6 months of our union. It was terrible because I gained 10 kilos. All right. None of that's true, by the way. My wife's a very good cook, and absolutely it's complete malarkey. All right. But I made it up just to be able to provide an example with some detail and related vocabulary. Okay?
Okay.
And to back up my reason, it could be, that was a good one. Maybe it could be a problem in the future with relationships. Yeah, you could have said a lot more about that. Okay, instead of just leaving it there. So give your reasons, great, but then make sure you provide some detail to fill out that reason, to back up that reason. And examples is the easiest and best way to do it. Real examples or just make it up. Who cares? Okay, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining me this week looking at IELTS. I appreciate all of your efforts. Very good job. Mustafa?
Thank you for your classes. And please, can you make more speaking classes in the future, please? You can.
What do you mean? Like IELTS speaking, TOEFL speaking,
any speaking classes, any speaking, any.
Okay. Duly noted. Thank you. And last time, Natasha, best of luck to you. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Teacher, thank you. Bye.